Welcome back to my neighborhood. I left off last time on my last video in 2015, but I want to step back for a moment back to 1996 just for maybe a minute or two. The fact is, when I first went blind, I had to come to a understanding with myself about being angry and frustrated. Frustrated and angry has two different meanings. I wasn't angry with anyone because I went blind. I was frustrated because I couldn't do what I once did. So I had to stop, think about the direction I wanted my life to go in, and try to help myself get there. I did not go to any training at that time, but I did have someone to lead me around. And that was a different way of doing things than I am doing now. Totally different. The person back then had no training or anything of that nature on how to deal with blind people. Okay? Now that I've said that, I'll fast forward to 2015 to where I was going to the Biloxi VA for all of my medical use. I did not know about the blind rehab center there. I was approached by someone that told me about the blind rehab center, explained to me what they did, explained to me the services that was given to the veterans. And every time I was approached, I always had an excuse. I was told to visit the rehab center and sit down and have a conference with one of the counselors over there. So I took it upon myself and made an appointment one day and went over there. After I talked to that counselor, and they was talking about putting me into this center to train me on the necessary things that I need to do because I was totally blind, I still was apprehensive. I still was putting things off. I was still not ready to attend that school. In 2017, I was approached once more. Then I started giving some serious thought about trying to make my life better. In 2018, I entered into the Blind Rehab Center in Biloxi, Mississippi. I have never looked back. All the things that I had taught myself, the thinking, the acting, the physical aspect of the way that I did things, I had to stop and be retrained all over again. Everything that I did was wrong. I had to learn how to walk first. That is mobility. To use a cane, how to use a cane properly. In the beginning, I had a cane that was issued to me, and it was not for the use of mobility, but that was to let people know that I was totally blind. And believe it or not, people still ignored the fact that I was totally blind, and I was walked over or ignored a number of times. Now I am being trained in a technical way how to move, respond, and react with the cane that I am issued. And there are many canes, different canes out there for you. The instructors at the BRC in Biloxi is very knowledgeable. From the mobility aspect of it, I wanted technology because I had decided that I wanted to do something else other than just moving about with my life. I learned how to use an iPhone 7 Plus. Never seen one in my life, don't know what it looked like, But with my instructor at the Blind Rehab Center in Biloxi, Mississippi, I was taught how to use that phone, and I will not go back to a flip phone or any other phone if I had to. I think I would just stop using a telephone if it came down to that. The iPhone is a very useful tool for me. I like using it, and it's a lot of different programs on there for you other than just texting or calling or sending emails. There are other apps that you can put on your phone to actually help you in your mobility, help you in your sight. You can't believe the technology that is out there for you. Okay, so I had 6 weeks of training on my initial training when I first went there. And I wanted to cram as much of information that I possibly could get into my head on that first 6 weeks. And I did. And I'm not looking back at this point. I have gone down there 3 times. The second time I went down there, it was more mobility and more technology. The one thing that I do want to do, I want to be able to travel on my own. I would like to get a guide dog to help me in my daily journey or in my daily walk, in my daily life. Either one of those 3 you want to use, that's what I want to do. I have even rode the bus and got off the bus and walked a route while I am blind. This is to make sure that I am qualified and eligible for a service dog. Now, you have to want to do this. Everyone is not like me. But there is other things that you can do with yourself instead of feeling sorry for yourself or just want to sit in a chair and not do anything. The fact is that you may not be able to do what I do, but I tell you, there are other things that you can do with your hands to keep your mind going, to keep your life in a very positive manner. And one thing I want to say is this: the people that take care of us, the caregivers, some people don't realize how much stress and how much anxiety they go through sometimes when they're dealing with us, because not only do they have to deal with us, they have to deal with how we react to them, how we talk to them. And some of us may get angry because they're not doing something quick enough. You know, sometimes they can't do it as fast as you think. So you got to give them time to do it. They want to do it the exact way as you want them to do it. Because if they do it in a way that you don't want them to do it, then it's incorrect. We have a tendency to say, well, that's not the way that I told you to do it. I want you to do A, B, and C. Even though that's not the way they did it, but the end result is the same thing. And if the end result is the same thing, and why should it matter? So we have to think about that. Not only do they have to deal with us, they have to deal with their daily lives as well. And sometimes they have to deal with us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if we can do something to enable them to take a break, we should do that. We should want to live our life to the fullest, be capable of doing some things and trying to get out there and face life in this real world, because we do matter. As I said before, there's a lot of technology out there for blind people. For the civilian people that is not veterans, you have the Lighthouse for the Blind. You probably have one in your city. You just have to get someone to find that place for you and see what type of assistance you can get. There is help out there for us blind people. And any veterans that's listening to me right now, you need to join the Blind Veterans Association, the BVA. You need to join that. Become a member and try to become active in that because we need you. I'm going to stop again. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up or send some comments to me on some things that you would like for me to talk about. I want you to be able to grasp what I'm telling you. I'm trying to reach people because blind people has a tendency to be overlooked, and you don't need to be overlooked. So I will continue at a later time, and as I will always tell you, keep your faith in God, trust in yourself, keep your heart and your mind right, and you'll get there. Blind people do matter. Once again, this is Rosey. I am signing off. Take care. We'll see you later.